Howdy folks, I'm Kevin with Lifestyle Overland, and welcome to the family farm in Tennessee. Now usually our family is out west, traveling to all kinds of crazy places in the remote wilderness, but we recently moved back to Tennessee. We're spending a lot more time here on the farm, in addition to our adventures. We've got a lot to do, so let's jump right in.
Oh, hello, Fuzzy.
The first item on our long and never-ending to-do list here on the farm is getting the chicken coop cleaned up in preparation for some new residents. With the garden having kept us all distracted, fighting weeds and harvesting, we've gotten a little behind on the routine chores, so I wasn't looking forward to this at all. In spite of its current condition, this coop holds a special place in our hearts, since it was the last building my papaw built before he passed away. After over 20 years of service, this coop has housed the flock of layer hens faithfully through wind, rain, and snow. And while the carpenter bees have done their best to eat it, it's still going strong. By the way, if you have any suggestions on how to fight these persistent pests, let us know in the comments below. Alright, we got a long list of things to get done. But first and foremost of all, take care of the animals. So let's improve the chicken situation just a little bit. And we got winter coming, so let's freshen it up. We got some fresh chicks that are almost ready to be introduced to the family here. So we'll get their spot cleaned up as well. And some good fertilizer for next year's garden. Did I mention I wasn't looking forward to this? I guess it's time to get a little grungy.
Housekeeping. You're alright. You're alright. Okay. What? Did I disturb you? Trying to lay an egg? I don't want you to hurt you or me. Hold on. Goodness.
After dealing with a few unruly tenants, the first load of chicken manure and old wood chips was ready for the garden. While the project was one of my least favorites, at least it was satisfying to know this manure was about to supercharge another area of the garden for next year's planting.
decided to go the extra mile this time and clean up the cobwebs that have been accumulating for 20 years. While they were nice for helping control the flies, I think it's time for some fresh webs. I still can't believe how much dust these things were holding.
Alright. I think we got her close enough for government work and chicken coops. All the cobwebs are gone. So dusty. All the pens have been cleaned out. All the laying boxes, I mean. I need to fix this guy. We were just talking about doing a pan or something down here to collect. Make it easier to clean out. But now we're ready to throw some wood chips in it. Whew. So much better. You gonna lay us an egg now? Are you mad at me? You go back to doing what you were doing.
I've been a little overdue. Holy cow. Smells amazing in there now. It smells like fresh cut pine. Yeah, hold that for me, thanks. All right. Topo Bear merch over at Overland.pro. So I gotta go dump this now.
With the coop and surrounding area all cleaned up, I checked in with one of the locals to see if they appreciated my efforts.
A little bit better for your dirt crew. Come on. Go up.
Oh well, maybe next time. While the list of needed improvements around the farm is calling, all of those items have to take a back seat when it's time for harvest. So with the hay ready to be cut and a good weather window ahead,
Not working?
Yep.
we dropped what we were doing and headed for the equipment shed to prep the tractors for work. But it would seem that even this simple task of fueling up the tractor wasn't without its drama.
Bad impeller? Oh, there it went. That works just fine. Crisis averted.
Thankfully, this issue fixed itself, but ironically revealed a new maintenance item.
Yep, time for a new hose.
Add that to the list.
While our Tundra, named the Grizz, was built for overland adventures in the wilderness, it's come in quite handy here on the farm with its four-wheel drive, towing abilities, and rolling tool chest, which makes fixes and equipment service so much faster than rounding up the tools scattered across the farm. Today, we're focused on getting the Fella disc mower greased and lubed for the nearly 70 acres of cutting ahead of us.
You liking that grease tip?
Real good.
That's the ticket, right?
Our first step was to ensure the PTO, or power takeoff shaft, was greased, since it bears the brunt of the work in its universal joints.
What's wrong with your tractor?
I don't know. The lid won't stay on.
Just when we thought we were wrapping up another simple task, we were thrown a curveball.
Oh no!
I was looking forward to filming all these little farm fixes. I didn't know it was going to start for day one.
Oh, we ain't through. Yeah, we're fixing to do hay. We ain't through.
So let's try one last ditch attempt to hold it in place so it'll at least go into its perch.
After a couple failed attempts at holding this bushing in place, we resorted to one of our old electrician backups, electrical tape, which, as it turns out, was the perfect low-profile fix to allow the shield to slip back on and hold it all together for now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think once it's in, there's so many pieces, it's such a tight fit, it's going to keep it in. The trick is if we can get it to stay together.
Sounded good.
There we go.
This reliable mowing machine is pushing 40 years of service, which has only been possible through religious routine maintenance. With it getting long in the tooth, this process is even more important to hopefully keep it going just one more season. Now, it was time to attach the disc mower to the Kubota's 3-point hitch so we could inspect the blades. This set had seen better days after some nasty rock strikes from the spring mowing, so we opted to replace them entirely with some fresh blades. With the fall grass usually being a bit tougher to cut, this would make things go a lot smoother and leave the fields looking good for the landowners who allow us to keep things mowed in exchange for the hay. With the new blades ready, we headed to the yard to give it a test run, but not before getting a little tour of the farm fixes my dad has used to keep this machine in service, including patching massive leaks in the bar which houses the drive gears.
External gasket.
Courtesy of
Some rough and flashing silicone
yeah.
caulking
There you go.
on the seam. Took that shield off and sealed it.
Well, yeah, whatever it takes.
Yeah,
Boy,
it's not holding pressure.
man, that's been through it, hasn't it?
Yeah, and that's the second set. That's it, wasn't it?
She's running out now.
My gasket worked.
With the patches still going strong and the bar topped off with gear oil, it was time to check the belt tension. These 4 belts are designed to drive the blade discs, but in a worst case situation, they're supposed to slip and avoid breaking critical pieces in the mowing machine if it were to lock up. Now, all we needed was to test it out and set the angle of the bar for cutting. It's truly an impressive machine when you consider I started my hay cutting career using a 50-year-old sickle bar mower.
If anything, maybe a touch slows down.
Dig it down.
That's what make hay.
Before we could dive into the cutting, we had a special delivery arrive in the mail. So, it was off to the barn to get our new batch of meat chickens settled into their new home. In another video, we showed you the current meat bird flock, which was nearing the end of their growth cycle. So, it was time to get the next round growing.
Oh, good, they're actually cute. Oh my gosh, you're so cute! I did Mommy. How much is is that now? 11? Happy chicks.
You gonna pet one?
Aren't they cute? Yeah. Yes. 4. I mean 5. 7, and then others are like, unhand me, you fiend. Aren't they cute, Abby? So we go over and see them when he has...
These birds are bred for their speedy gains and will be ready to eat in just 8 short weeks, especially with a high-quality organic feed my mom gives them. In the course of a year, this farm will raise about 100 of these birds in 3 separate batches. Each bird will dress out between 5 and 6 pounds once they're grown, which means nearly 600 pounds of organic chicken goes into our freezers for the family to eat. And no, we don't have any leftovers. It really boggles the mind to think that these cute, cheeping little chicks do so much to keep us all fed with delicious, healthy protein.
Boys are loud. Kids. Hi, kids.
They're very gentle. Good job.
Oh.
Aww.
Hey, too.
Hi. Say have a seat. Yeah.
Hey, Demi.
Now we could get back to the other priority, cutting hay.
my turn. It's been a while. It's just weird with air conditioning. It's so quiet. This is not the haymaking I grew up on. That steering knob is the way to go, though. I like that.
Unfortunately, I missed the first cutting in the spring of this year while we were busy relocating from Utah to Tennessee. So my dad had already filled the hay barn with more than enough round bales to carry our herd through the winter. That means that all this hay is a bonus. So I'm thinking about getting a few cows of my own to add to the herd to help eat our bumper crop through the winter. Any farmer will tell you that this is a great position to be in, and so this harvest was a lot less stressful knowing what was already in the barn. Like I mentioned before, these fields are old farms and vacant land owned by our neighbors, so it makes for a win-win situation where they get their land mowed for free twice a year while we get to take the hay in return. My dad also does some contract hay work for farmers who don't have the proper equipment, which helps supplement the farm account with a few dollars here and there. Today, we had 4 fields on the agenda to get cut. While I'd like to say it was a lot of hard work, it was actually very easy and enjoyable between the air-conditioned cab and taking turns with my dad. It felt good to be in the saddle again after having been gone for so long. This first drive took me back to over 25 years ago when I used to mow these fields with my papaw as we worked as a team using the old, tedious sickle bar mowers. I even found myself expecting to look up and see him coming around the next turn on his tractor, probably grinning and shaking his head at me for driving too fast. But I'm sure he's looking down now and grinning again at seeing his sidekick getting back to life on the farm. Man, those were some good times. In a previous video, we shared our bountiful potato harvest and put these spuds in the garage to dry and somewhat harden their skins before going into longer-term storage. Today, it's time to sort and pack them by size while culling any rotten or damaged potatoes to avoid any further spoilage. Any less than pristine spuds will go to the kitchen, where the best parts can be used immediately, while the already putrid rotten ones will get chucked into the woods. The key to helping these last is airflow and separation. So, we'll use some crafting and packing material to keep them from touching.
Well, I'm a stranger in paradise. I'm off traveling with my band. Well, I'm a gypsy-hearted troubadour where the road don't ever end. Well, she's a compass in my bones, points me home again. My baby, she's a green.
With this big harvest, we quickly ran out of the packing material, so we resorted to using some quality hay, which has a very similar effect. We'll see how it does in the long term, though.
My favorite song smiles when I get the words wrong. Wildflower on the sunny side.
Whoa.
Yeah, you want to eat some?
I want to eat some.
Some mashed potatoes?
Mommy.
French fries?
Papa.
Chips?
Chips.
Yeah!
And those who know me understand I'm a hard-headed dreamer. I got plans for all my plans. But when the ship has lost its way, she's the tide that pulls me in.
My baby, she's a green light. Ain't never seen a stop sign. Umbrella in a rainstorm. A cup of coffee when the morning comes. She's a chorus of my
After packing these golden orbs of deliciousness into boxes, we loaded up the trailer and headed for the basement, where it's cool and maintains about 40 to 50% humidity year-round. This will help ensure these potatoes stay fresh and ready all winter long. I can already taste those mashed potatoes.
Welcome to the dungeon. Actually, it's where we store the potatoes. Cool, hopefully dry. Most important, dark. All right, here we go.
It moved. It moved. It hurts. Okay, I don't need to tell you.
She just mocked you.
Yeah?
Dad, let me bring the wagon in.
Okay, just making sure. Everybody's
Tonight, it was time to check on the new chicks before starting the task of rounding up the new layer hens that have been living with the turkeys. Layer hens will slow their egg production after about 2 years of life, so it's a good practice to add fresh birds every 2 to 3 years in order to maintain peak production. The current flock of hens in the freshly cleaned coop have almost entirely stopped laying, so these reinforcements are a welcome addition to our family who loves fresh eggs.
What do I do?
just lean in and carefully put them in there.
At nearly 6 months old, these pullets are almost ready to begin laying, so it's time to introduce them to the main flock in a way that keeps them from getting attacked as the pecking order develops. This was also a great time for Caroline to work through some long-standing fears of chickens since she was attacked by a rooster at 5 years old, an event that would make anyone nervous around these feathered fowl. While it did take quite a bit of extra encouragement from us, she pushed through the fear, and after a few minutes of flying feathers, she and her cousin did a great job of helping their grandmother round up these now slightly confused birds. For this new flock, my mom went with Bielefelders, which are a large dual-purpose breed known for their eggs and meat. She also added in some rare cream leg bars, complete with a fancy hairdo and known for their green and blue tinted eggs. Seems like we'll be all set for Easter with these ladies in the coop.
You had it! You had it!
You had it!
It's scary.
Grab it! Grab it!
He's like, save me from the door.
Perfect.
Help! There. You get the whole place to yourself. His name is Nathan, and he shall be mine. My Nathan. You're like, oh, this is torture for me.
For now, we'll keep the old and new hens separated while they meet each other through the chicken wire in the split coop design. After a couple of weeks, we'll blend the flocks together in what we hope will be a peaceful event. But for tonight, the challenge was getting them out of the kennel without letting them escape. I probably could have used a better method, since some of them slipped outside while I attempted to dump them out. Thankfully, I had acquired some skills back in my younger days of chasing chickens on the farm, which, come to find out, hadn't gotten too rusty in over 25 years.
Whoa!
How'd you do that?
Many years of practice.
Yeah. He's nice. He followed me before he did everything. Hey, get out.
So you just look around, like there's one in the floor there, if you can grab it. And you look at each of these.
With the young hens roosting in their new home, we rounded up the last of the eggs before heading to our own roosts, because tomorrow is going to be another busy day.
Good job.
A couple days after cutting the first fields of hay, it was cured, dry, and ready to be baled. That means we were back in the equipment shed to walk through all the preventative maintenance steps on the hay rake and the round baler. The grease gun was called into service yet again, and the star of the show, this locking tip by Lock & Lube, made hitting all the critical Zert fittings easy and mostly mess-free. By the way, we do have these tips for sale at overland.pro, but I never thought about the farm use aspect until now. This Kubota hay rake is one of the newer pieces of equipment on the farm, so we weren't too worried about how well it would perform. However, this time around, we're calling the 1984 Ford 5610 tractor out of retirement, so my dad and I can work as a team to speed up the process. Let's just say I don't have the same level of confidence in this 41-year-old tractor, especially after a cursory inspection revealed a few concerns.
Just keep pointing up in the air.
What's that for?
That's to hold this back when we hook up the rake to it, because it's just got one valve, one hydraulic remote on it. And these cylinders leak. I've had them rebuilt,
So
but they still leak. So that holds it up, because we got to unhook it, and so you don't have any controls over your front end.
Right, you're not gonna be able to.
Yeah. Yeah, that was disappointing. You know, I spent quite a bit of money to get it rebuilt, and it still don't hold it up.
Wow.
Reckon we got our money's worth out of that.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's loose on the inside too. Got another rope?
Oh yeah, there's always rope.
See if we can't rig something up to keep it from just falling flat on the floor. Farming is a lot like overland field repairs, just on a daily basis.
After a few more questionable farm engineering solutions, the old 5610 was limping back into the game. In spite of its poor hydraulics, power steering problems, injector pump leaks, spent tie rods, and dry-rotted tires, we were in business and soon had the hay rake hooked up and ready to give it our best shot. Oh, and speaking of questionable, this is our baler, a Case 3450, which is nearly as old as the Ford tractor. For almost 30 years, this gold standard of its time has been faithfully producing 5 foot wide by 4 foot tall round bales for our family. Unfortunately, it can be a beast to work on when the sealed roller bearings fail, so our fingers were crossed so that it doesn't happen this season. Truthfully, it's getting harder and harder to find replacement parts for these aging pieces of equipment, so it won't be long before we have to face the hard fact that we might not be able to keep these going much longer. But for now, we're doing our best to squeeze every ounce of use out of them we can, because newer equipment doesn't come cheap for farming. Finally, it was my time to shine in the old Ford, so I hopped up into the seat my papa used to occupy and eased up on the throttle as I relived a few more moments from my childhood. While air conditioning is nice, there's just nothing like the roar of an old engine and a hot breeze filled with diesel fumes to take you back. Just when I was getting comfortable and starting to turn around to create our first windrow, I was jerked back to reality when everything came to a jarring halt.
That didn't last long.
Man, it broke off.
My bungee strap didn't work. What the heck? What made it snap? Did it just turn so aggressively that it turned the wheel sideways and broke it? It broke the spindle. Holy
Yeah, that
cow.
hell. This broke.
Yeah, had nothing to do with that. I thought this came off and then it broke. That's still on up in there too.
Wow, dude. Good thing it didn't happen on the road.
Yeah, that's what I sprayed to get it out here. So leave her sit where she's at. Yeah. Rake around it. Our expedient plan. We can pivot this. That's no problem.
Well, I can't say my dad didn't warn me. I had hoped this would be the Ford's glorious return to real work, but something had gone terribly wrong. Thankfully, it happened here in the field and not on the road or hill where I would have gotten tossed like a sack of taters. With the old tractor dead in the water, we had to get some recovery straps to pull the rake away and let the trusty Kubota take over while I figured out what went wrong.
Oh! 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 All right. Crazy.
Again, the Grizz came to the rescue with all my overland tools, including the Pro Eagle jack, which made easy work of lifting this heavy tractor. It's almost comical the parallels I'm finding between overlanding and farming. As its broken limb rose from the dirt, I found to my surprise that the spindle hadn't snapped after all, which meant there was a glimmer of hope that this tractor might not be out of the game just yet.
Just came unscrewed.
After locating the bearings and cleaning up the dirt, I finally found the root cause of the wheel failure.
Well, folks, right there is the culprit. Cotter pin snapped off.
So, in basic terms, the pin that keeps the nut from unscrewing on the spindle had somehow snapped, which means the wheel simply unscrewed itself and decided to take a dirt nap. This was likely due to the bearings starting to fail, but it's still a head scratcher on how it would have had enough force to break the pin. Either way, I cleaned up the bearings as best as I could, threw some fresh grease in them, installed a new cotter pin, and put it all back together, hoping that this time it would last long enough to at least finish the raking.
Got it now?
Yeah. I was making a turn, I had the clutch kind of feathered. I heard a pop, and then right after that.
Yeah, I saw you.
With everything buttoned up, I took a test drive to make sure it was all going to hold together. Aside from a few pops and complaints from the shot tie rods, I think we're in business for now. Meanwhile, back on the Kubota, my dad was raking away to keep us productive. And when I called to let him know we were good to go, he gave me a classic, "Hey, while you're at it," quote-unquote, task that dads are famous for.
Alright, so apparently he said there's some more issues on this guy. Recent surgery.
And so, I rolled my Overland rig, now turned service truck, over to the next customer and began patching things back together.
It's that in half. Man.
Built this thing from the ground up out of nothing. No flight plan, no manual to be bound. You and I, we're driving in the dark without headlights, trying to find our way. It's hard telling where we'll be coming days, but I'll be there with you. It's hard telling where we'll be in the coming days, but I'll be there with you. I'll be here with you. Built a wall around my heart to stop the bleeding. More than made of all the words that I should have said to you. And we're walking through the fire and the smoke clouds, trying to find our way. It's hard telling where we'll be in the coming days, but I'll be there with you. It's hard telling where we'll be in the coming days, but I'll be there with you. I'll be here with you. It's hard telling where we'll be in the coming days, but I'll be there with you. It's hard telling where we'll be in the coming days, but I'll be there with you. It's hard telling where we'll be in the coming days, but I'll be there with you. It's hard telling where we'll be the coming days, but I will be there with you. I'll be here with you.
Just when we thought everything was going smoothly, the baler bit off more than it could chew, and progress came to a stop as we both worked to unplug the feed. Never a dull moment in the hayfield.
That's a familiar sound.
With the sun dipping below the ridge line, the humidity was beginning to climb, which is never good for baling hay. The last thing we wanted was moldy bales, but since these would be fed out first, my dad pushed on into the night, trying to make up for lost time. We still had 2 more fields to bale, and with rain in the forecast now, time was of the essence. Once the humidity hit 60%, we pulled the plug, since we were really starting to push the moisture content. In case you didn't know, hay bales can spontaneously combust under the wrong conditions with excessive moisture, and while we were still in the safe range, we didn't want to push it. So, we headed for the barn to try again tomorrow.
Took a little longer than we thought, but
Yeah.
so you still got more over there.
Yeah, we'll just run
Okay.
over there and
Let's go get a shower and some food.
Yeah, we must be almost out because it's kind of dried off up here. how you can tell. If it stops leaking, you know you're out. So it might be time for a full restoration or maybe a straight up upgrade.
Full hose, they've been like it ever since he's had it.
Yeah. I am proud of our bungee job.
Yeah.
It wasn't the problem yesterday.
I thought, dang, that bungee didn't work.
The next morning, we went over the equipment again while we waited for the dew to dry on the hay fields. The poor Ford was already running dry on power steering fluid thanks to an arterial bleed, so we topped it off and again hoped it would stay with us one more day. I headed for the next hayfield to start raking while my dad baled the remainder of the field from the previous night, then fell in behind my raking here. So far, everything was going smoothly. Almost too smoothly. The kind of smooth where you feel like something is just around the corner, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is. But I finished the field and put the rake back into travel mode before heading out to the last field.
What's wrong?
Ah, there it is. Our next problem.
Start. That is a hammer. Tractor won't start. Oh, that's right. Okay, I'll take a look at it. All right, bye. All right, so there's a notorious electrical connection on the starter that has been giving them a fit. That guy right there is vibrated off. Alright. Maybe that'll stay. Oh, just leaking diesel everywhere. Come on, baby. Talk to me.
Thankfully, it was an easy fix, and we headed off to finish baling the last field for the day. As I was wrapping up the raking on this field, my dad flagged me down with that sort of look where you just know your productivity was about to take a nosedive.
So the bottom belts just aren't spinning at all?
Don't try and quit rolling there.
Well, there's quite a bit of slack. The main roller brake.
Having a full bell in the chamber meant that if this didn't fix itself, we would have some serious work cut out for us getting it removed. We pulled the biggest chunks out and said a little prayer as we hoped it would clear the rest on its own.
You know? Man, that sucks.
We held our breath, and miraculously, the problem fixed itself. Now, that's my kind of solution.
There it goes.
As it turns out, there was just an excessive amount of chaff that had collected in the void between the belts. This is always a problem for the fall cutting when there's a lot of short grass that can fall between the belts.
There was a big wad that had come underneath this one and it detensioned everything. So it was stuck behind this belt and this roller right here.
Okay, I pulled a big wad out.
Yeah, and then it sat there and it kind of spun and then it finally took off, so.
Okay, yeah, we don't look like we're packed.
No.
But this is the ejector right there. So that makes the hay fall on this side right here and accumulates over here.
Gotcha. Then we can just finish it and then give it a good clean out this evening?
Yeah,
Or
I think we're good. I think that was just kind of
a freak accident?
the result of pretty good.
I want to go get my hoodie on. It's cold in here.
What's the deal? I'm saying.
My goodness. Where has this been? Alright, what we working on?
With my raking done, my dad called me over to get a refresher on belling so we could swap jobs in the coming days and take turns in this beautiful air-conditioned cab.
Turn PTO on. With it idle down. Now we're going to go up to about 350, 379. Pretty much put that right wheel on the edge of the windrow and put the pickup, picking it up as far on the edge as you can.
After a few minutes, it was all coming back to me, and we wrapped up our first session of belling. But we were just getting started, since there were about 40 more acres to go now.
That's just hitting the trailer, and you feel another bump, that's it kicking out. But if you look in between the belts, you can see daylight, you know it's gone. Pull it back through, just go ahead and pull it all the way. Let the tent work, just get there you go.
Meanwhile, back on the farm, it was time for the dairy herd's vet check. So we rounded up the jerseys to have some blood drawn, get a pregnancy check, and also freshen up the fly tags, since the little pests have been giving us plague-sized problems with all the rain. These ladies are my mom's prized milk cows, so they all get treated like royalty here on the farm. If you're unfamiliar with cows, the dairy breed can appear bony or skinny, which isn't from malnourishment, it's just because their genes are dedicated to milk production instead of muscle and fat mass like the beef breeds. These beauties are so well cared for, in fact, that this one, named Violet, is over 14 years old, an age seldom seen in the dairy world where most cows are culled around 8 years old. This is a testament to how much she's been spoiled to live to such a ripe old age. And she's far from done, since my mom has had more than a few live to be over 17 years old. Now, she's earned her retirement and is living out her days here in reward for her incredible service to the family. While unproductive animals aren't exactly profitable for a farm and usually get sent on their way when they mature, there are some exceptions to the rule, and Violet is one of them.
Sam went flying off the highest rock. He did a double backflip, 35-foot drop.
Time slows down, all you do is float. You can't go skiing cause the boat's too slow. Laughing and singing till the sun went down. I'm gonna keep these people around. I said, hey, no, never gonna let you go. I said, hey, no, never gonna let you go. We get older, we get better.
Oh yeah, there's a calf in there. Yeah.
Never gonna let you go. Bike ride, fireside, old photograph trying to make you laugh, talking on the sideline. It's a storyline that I hope goes on forever.
I see you, cowgirl.
I said, hey, no, never gonna let you go. I said,
Look at her. Abigail, that's the face you make when Mama catches you.
we get better. I hope we all go home together. I said, hey, no, never gonna let you go.
After the ladies were finished with their doctor visit, it was time for the grumpy old Jersey bull to get some fly relief. His neck is so big now that even with the head gate fully expanded, he doesn't even fit. So we had to use a board to keep him in place while my dad put in a new tag. Some cows like to thrash around in this situation, so in order to protect both us and them from injury, the head chains are installed to stabilize their head. This keeps us from getting bloody noses and prevents the ears from getting torn if they jerk unexpectedly while getting tagged.
Get a fresh new piercing for that one.
No. Go. Come on. Don't you kick me. Come on now. Hey. Go. 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 Okay. Yeah.
Let you tag them without even.
Just call me the pioneer woman.
Yeah, well, thank you. Cheese and bacon, that works.
The next morning, it was time to get the hay hauled in and under cover since the radar showed showers headed our way. So after hitching up the Grizz to the hay wagon, we got busy bringing in the harvest as quickly as we could.
All right, you know what time of the show it is. Shameless product placements. Got to find all kinds of ways to keep this going because YouTube definitely does not. Overland.pro.
That's a new way of doing it.
I can get 8. I might could get 9. Haven't tried that yet.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like do long ways all the way up into here?
Yeah, do 3 right here and then 3. Yeah, I've got them. Oh, shoot, I need my. You got to tie down because I got one for throwing across.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Probably not long enough. Let me see what I got. We're about 30% done with the hay now. As it turns out, no sooner than we finished tarping the hay, the rain hit and didn't let up for a couple of days. But that gave us the chance to enjoy one of our favorite Tennessee traditions.
Goes to Deshaun Bishop. Big run on first down.
Now, after watching this video, it might seem like farming is chaotic and a lot of hard work. And that's because it is. But honestly, the reward is well worth the effort when the whole family comes together after a long week to enjoy the many different harvests. Everything my mom is cooking came from this farm, starting with the fried chicken all the way down to those mashed potatoes. More and more, we're coming to appreciate being home here in Tennessee. Watching our girls playing with their cousins and being loved on by the family has been a welcome change after so many years of doing life alone in the West. It's kind of funny how we've come full circle from craving solitude to pursuing community. We're learning again just how important it is to have the close support of family and trusted friends within arm's reach.
Laughter is the only thing that'll keep you sane. And this world is crying more and more every day. Don't let evil get you down in this madness spinning round and round. I want you to live forever underneath the sky so blue. Some people say faith is a childish game. Play on children like it's Christmas Day. Sing me a song, sing me a melody, sing out loud your symphony. I want you to live forever underneath the sky so blue. I want you to live forever underneath the sky so blue. Take courage when the road is long. Don't ever forget you are never alone.
Tonight, we're more than just thankful for the incredible homegrown food. We're also feeling so blessed to have a family who is there for each other as we all work through our own ups and downs. In this chaotic world, the phrase that keeps going through my mind is, in this world, you will have trouble, but I leave you my peace. And that's what we're resting in tonight, because tomorrow has enough trouble of its own. Until next time, remember to stay curious and leave the world a little better than you found it. Y'all come back now, you hear? Because we got some awesome stuff in the works. Here's a sneak peek. Lifestyle Overland is only possible thanks to our supporters on Patreon. We would love to have you join our team in keeping this channel alive and sharing positive stories. You can learn more by visiting lso.link/support or finding us on the Patreon app. Patrons, we can't thank you enough for keeping all this going. We truly would not be here without your support.
When you circle back this way, come over here and look what this tractor's done.